Hopefully we are in fact live. We did lose internet for a while at some point last night, but hopefully we are all here and good. Yesterday I spent some time crocheting, being creative again. I've been wanting to make some chickens out of the tweed chenille yarn that I had. That's the colorway name. It's like woodland tweed or whatever. But anyway, so it's got these little tufts of other colors. Anyway, I'd been wanting to make a chicken out of them. And I had found a similar chenille from Premier at the dollar store, and I had made a really tiny itty bitty chicken out of that. And it was smaller than I anticipated. I guess the weight of the yarn is smaller from the Dollar Tree. But so I decided I would give it a try. I followed the pattern, but I think I made a mistake and made one or two more rows than I needed to because it turned out to be very tall. very very tall this way. I was like, we could stand to lose like 1 or 2 or 3 rows of this. So I don't know if I messed up. I'm pretty sure I did. But anyway, this one I did just embroidered face. So I did vertical eyes. And then I was like, I don't really love the shape of this. And also it wound up having sort of like that cone bottom issue of when you do the magic circle and it's too few stitches, it tends to like make a cone. Anyway, I decided to freehand, felt similarly to the pattern, but freehand the size that I want and everything. So I wound up making football chicken. And I like it very much in terms of shape. But I did horizontal eyes instead, like it's sleeping, I guess. But I very much like the shape of this. So tall chicken with vertical eyes and football chicken with. So I think I prefer the like it's, I don't know how to, like it looks football shaped to me, like more oblong. Anyway, I like it. So this is the Dollar Tree chenille, in case you're interested, and this is Bernat. But I like it. Football chicken. I like it. So I'm going to see if I can figure out where I went wrong. I'm pretty sure it's just the number of stitches in the body. I also like the sort of daintier tail for the football chicken. But yeah, so I made chickens yesterday. And now I'm like, what do I do with the chickens? My mom was having a hard time making some phone calls to companies yesterday, so I gave her, when I finished the tall chicken, I was like, here have an emotional support chicken. She came back later after the phone call. She's like, it worked. So anyway, yeah, cute. Reminds you of your nan's pincushion. Ooh, I think if I made it out of a cotton yarn, and a cotton smaller weight yarn, so like, I guess that's what they call like fingerling weight, then it might be more suitable. That definitely has, the chenille has too many holes for pens. too many big gaps. But it would be very cute as a pin cushion, yes. Currently editing chapter 8. Nice. You edited chapter 7 already today in another live stream. Fantastic. Looks like broody hen. It does look like a sleeping or broody hen, yes. Football chicken is definitely nicer for a cute plush. That's what I thought too. That's what I thought. Oh no, dealing with some shoulder pain. Have you had some ibuprofen, Tylenol, like muscle ache stuff? Got a heat pad or ice pack, depending on how your pain responds to heat or cold? cute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, hello to Kara, who's the first one in the stream. You're not sure which category your female lead would fit into. Clara spent the last 12 years of her life devoting herself to supporting her husband and advancing his career. Now she's breaking free from the emotionally abusive marriage. She wants to devote her energies to the Arctic Circle initiative, helping Kaylin and, is it Sumer, build a new cultural center on the burnt island. She intends to spend the rest of her life bettering the lives of indigenous Scandinavian population. Oh, so forgive me if I have not done the research into this. So the indigenous Scandinavian people, is that the Sami or is that a different name? A different group. Kara says you're also playing around with Dabble's word spreads today, and there's a link for that if you want to stream hop. Stacy says good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Welcome. This is where I said hello, and Michael is here. Hello. Welcome. 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 Are you doing a stream today and puns, or are you just relaxing and writing? This is where Rachel said very cute to my chicken. The tall one would be a pincushion one. Yeah, you believe she had a solid material sewn on the bottom portion. It would be dark red. Ooh, okay. So it would probably be something that would help hold some weight of like beads or beans, maybe even. Because generally you don't want your pincushion rolling around. So it would have to have a bottom that would be kind of flatter and would help contain whatever it was to weight it down, sand or what have you. Interesting. Mom doesn't want you to take any medicine. You're mostly just stretching it because it comes and goes. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. I find, okay, so this is kind of embarrassing, but I find that most of my shoulder pain comes from one of two things. One thing is that I used to keep my purse behind me in the driver's seat, like behind the driver's seat when I drove. And so being hypermobile, I would always just like reach around and pick up the purse and like haul it back around. That has fully like done some real serious like injuries to my rotator cuff. I no longer do that. But I still have like twinges where like if I'm reaching behind me and pulling anything with weight like forward, it still will like send twinges down my shoulder. So there's that. So if you have a habit of hauling weighty things behind you with one shoulder or one arm, maybe don't do that. The other thing that gives my shoulders issues is if I am in bed and can't sleep and I'm looking at my phone for too long or reading for too long, like just holding like something in the same position. So yeah, so those two things, if you are guilty of those two things, perhaps maybe not doing those things will help the pain go away. But it could be a totally different injury reason. So if it's not one of those two things, feel free to ignore me. Carla says, your female main character in book 5 is the assistant director of a corporate retreat center and a yoga instructor. So you guess creative? Could be. Or if they are more interested, okay, are they more interested in the yoga side of things? Or are they more interested? Oh, I didn't put healthcare in there at all. Okay. See, this is why we need more options for the poll. I didn't put healthcare in there, and healthcare is a pretty big one usually for male or female characters. And I just like completely blanked on healthcare. I completely blanked on politics we mentioned yesterday for male character. So I guess if you have either one of those, comment in the chat. But yeah, I would say this one, depending on if they're more attracted to the business side of things or more of the like yoga and wellness side of things, would sort of determine how would you pick your character career. I almost said character class, but that's not the right word. Rachel says, you're trying to decide revisions or getting the bags and swag out for the event this weekend before you dive into revisions. Ooh. Okay. Do you have a deadline for the revisions? Because you kind of have a deadline for the event stuff, event prepping, which is before this weekend. So I would be tempted to get that done just so it's like not in your way. But on the other hand, revisions always take way more time than I think they should. So flip a coin. Heads for bags and swag and tails for revision. Flip a coin. Or do whichever. But event stuff has kind of like a hard deadline. So that would be how I would approach it. So Carla says, you published book 4 yesterday. Yay! Bound by Accident. It's the Bear Shifters series, and you're starting book 5 today. Nice. Excellent. Good. So when we do the self-promo sprint, don't forget to tell me which, what's the author name for it, and then we'll put the link in the chat. So, because I'm pretty sure I followed you. Pretty sure I followed you on Amazon. I should have. If I didn't, shame on me. Yes, it did have dried beans in it. Okay, yes. Yeah, a lot of the older pincushions had beans, small pebbles, marbles, or sand in them. But you remember it was very balanced on her sewing tub because of that. Yes, you once picked it up as a child and she told you the chicken was not a toy. Yes. Yeah. She's more of a free spirit type. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, more on the creative side for her then. Good point. Event stuff first. Yeah, the stuff that has a deadline, as much as we would like to ignore it and push it back, like sometimes the deadline is close enough that we kind of have to work on it. So, this says the procrastinator, says the dawdling writer. Yeah, I'm kind of guilty of all of that. So I'm just getting my file document open and to the right page. So you should do the same. Also, we need to do the doggos. Yesterday's doggo was named Rufus. He's busy tending to his garden. Not sure what he's growing, but he's growing it diligently. 12 out of 10 for our dedicated plant dad. So here is Rufus and the plant that he is growing. Very cute. Very, very cute. And then for today, we have Woo. She hasn't gotten her hourly hug yet and would like someone to please address this matter immediately. 13 out of 10. Woo needs a hug. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. And just very much wondering, like, why haven't I gotten my hug yet? It's so cute. So we have Rufus and Woo. I think they both need hugs. But Woo definitely needs a hug. So cute. Okay, let's do our card and then we will hopefully be set. Okay, we have the snake today. So trigger warning for those of you who do not like snakes or nope ropes. We will be showing very shortly, and then it will disappear. So snake on screen in 3, 2, 1, snake on screen. Here is our snake friend. Time to heal is the main message. All right. Snake is now covered. I really just ought to print out a picture of Becca's cat and just like stick it on front and be like, here's Snake. Anyway, time to heal is the main message. All of us need healing at times, and when the snake appears, it is time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care and maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself space to nourish your own well-being. Vulnerability is necessary for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself and others now. Shed the past and step into a new way of being, for vitality is rising within you. This might be a good time to honor the work you have done to heal, to grow, and to repair any damage within you, within those you care about, and within your community. Celebrate together how far all of you have come in your healing journey and all that you have created. Unburden yourself of anything that no longer supports wellness, prosperity, positive relationships, and well-being, and open the door for healing to occur. So there you go. Snake always has a lot. Self-care and maintenance work, but also give yourself space to nourish your own well-being. Like it's okay for you to take time to heal. You know, whether it's healing your inner child, whether it's healing your inner artist, whether it's time, you know, for yourself, with ones you love rather than at work. Like it's okay. And then also that reminder that like everybody has a little bit of healing to do. And so while you are healing yourself, those you care about and are interacting with are also hopefully healing themselves. And so that healing might upon occasion clash a little bit. So, you know, give yourself and the ones you love a little bit of grace. And it'll be okay. But also acknowledge that when you're in the trenches of doing that healing, sometimes it feels like you're just trudging along and you forget to look back and see just how far you have trudged. So yeah. Snake feels perfect for today. Excellent. You pulled the 8 of Wands. Nice. And you'll definitely be doing some yoga after you finish your chapters. Yeah. Sounds like it with stiff muscles. Yoga and stretching is a must. All right. So I do have my document up. So hopefully this is the document that I fell into the editing hole last time. I'm hoping that we will have a full drafting day today rather than editing. So that's where I'm at today. Kara says, how super annoying. The stream didn't start when you were working on a character development sheet. Now you're late, even though you were trying to be on time. You were early. It's okay. We forgive you. It's okay. But yeah, that is annoying when the internet does what the internet does sometimes. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's see. Let's go ahead and do the snowbirds. Oh, we saw a hawk this morning. And then crows. So I think the hawk was being harassed by the crows. And the crows were coming in and being like, yeah, this is our territory. So the hawk landed actually right on top of our red barn feeder. And then was gone before I could take a picture. And then the bluebird likes to perch over here on the top of this capital T. What do you call this? Bird feed hanger post. Yeah, they like to sit on the top of this post here and the top of this one here, watching for grasshoppers. Interestingly enough, the hummingbird will sit we'll also sit on the top of the star that's on here on the red barn, but we'll also sit on the arms of these as well as the as well as the top of the T and on the bars. I don't know how to describe it. And hopefully you could see my mouse moving when I was doing all of that. Anyway, let's go ahead and do another sprinty sprint. Or a sprinty sprint, the first sprinty sprint. So 1, save your document or documents. 2 is make sure you have something to hydrate with. I have a raspberry tea this morning. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. If you need a longer stretch, please do so. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I managed to get just under 1,000. So that's a good starting point for drafting. It's a good chunk. It's a nice chunk. Better than what I was attempting to do the other day when it was just turned into an editing session. So much better. Much better. I also had to put my hair up because it's hot in my room. Yay. Let's see. Carla bought a 40-ounce Stanley tumbler for yourself on Monday as a treat so you can stay hydrated, which is awesome. I asked if Carla had regular water, fancy water, or a different kind of beverage in the Stanley. Monique made it into chapter 9. Excellent. Good, good, good. Carla has ice water in the big Stanley. Also, it's purple. It's a lilac, as they didn't have a deep purple, but lilac is purple enough. Yes. And so I was wondering, I don't actually know if you can like dye them or paint them, or just like you have to do stickers or something. So, you know, options. Rachel has gotten everything out of the closet for the swag bag, and out of your room and into your dining room so that you can organize it. I asked if you were going to do assembly line or sort of like do stations. And also, yeah, I know that filming things feels like twice as long, which is why I never wind up filming stuff. But I was asking if Rachel was going to film any of the packing of the swag bags for the channel or not. You believe you're going to build in sections this time as the books are all in stacks on the table. You can't move the books to their boxes until Dawn gets here and can sign them. Dawn's coming Thursday night, driving from Southwest Texas. Imagine they'll be exhausted. Yeah, probably. Anytime a road trip happens, you definitely be a bit tired. Carla's going to see what stickers call out to you for the Stanley. Monique is trying to figure out what Jane's father says when she alludes to a trauma that has happened to her. And so I was asking questions about like what kind of character is the father figure? Is he surprised? Does he not believe her? Is he ready to fight whoever is the cause of the trauma? So, you know, that kind of stuff. He's trying to help her. Okay, so in that case, I would say definitely probably ready to fight whoever. Give her hugs. I don't know if he's the kind of dad that immediately was like, oh, we should do therapy or not. That depends on how you have built his character. But yeah, so definitely hugs, questions, and possibly, again, depending on how you have built your character, ready to arrange some terrible things to happen to the person who caused the trauma. Carla says a first draft of the second chapter. Her introduction is done. Nice. Lovely. Stacey got 701 words. Nice. Because that may be the first words of the day, and you only have an hour more to write to get your 1K. Well, hey, you only have to have 299, right? You may have to aim for 1.5K. Ooh, nice. Kara says, I worked on a deep dive character worksheet, which has helped put you in a better mood. Fantastic. Rachel's like, I might film it, I might not. Motivation. Yeah, I understand that. Because it's definitely, it's like sometimes you just want to get it done. And thinking about camera, thinking about angles and lighting and setup and all that is a lot. It definitely takes more brain power to do. And so if you just want to get it done, you just want to get it done. So I understand. It may be a good idea to film pieces of getting things ready. Yeah, it definitely goes into with an article and a digital product that you already have. Well, there you go then. And you don't have to film everything. Just film, like, set up how you think you want to do it. Do a couple, get yourself used to it. Film a clip. And then the next time you set up the next station, do it again. So, yeah. Jane is already in therapy. Okay. Gotcha. Your brain could not continue that because it wants to revise, so you're letting it lead the way, which is also perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Carly says, I love that she decides to take a break by going skinny dipping, turn around, and he's there shielding his eyes, turning bright red. So she's this, don't stand there, just dive in. Nice. If you film it, it'll be very amateur voila style, which is perfectly fine. You're much more of a live streamer / easy casual gal. Yeah, understand that. I understand that. Monique says, technically speaking, chapter 9 is done. Jane's dad was going to schedule her therapy appointment. Nice. However, you're going to spend the next sprint writing notes about Jane's incident. Gotcha. Okay. I might do a 3-minute thing in my bullet journal. Hopefully it'll only take 3 minutes. And then I'll be back into the draft. Also, second sprint, as always, is the self-promo sprint. So if you have something that you want to promote that is writing adjacent, Carla, I need to look up your is it Bound by Accident? Bear Shifter. Yes. Okay, I think I need to look up my follows. Nope, not that. There we go. Thank you. Yay. Author page. Excellent. Thank you, Carla. I forgot I gave you a wrench, but yes. Excellent. Yay. Okay. You've been using the farting back timer. Yay! Excellent. With one of your writing groups, it cracks everyone up. It's great. Your friend shared this. Wow, you're so determined. Thanks. I do everything out of spite. Yes. What is it? Paris Paloma has the, I think that's the right. Yes. Paris Paloma has a song called As Good a Reason. And the word before that is spite. So spite's as good as a reason as anything. So yeah, it's a great song. So there is Carla's author page. Rachel says, thanks, Carla. You do things out of spite too, yes. Stacy's like, dang it, I'm running out of steam. Now I need to get back to work. Yes, okay, we're getting back to a sprint. I promise. Okay, so 1, save your document. That's number 1. Make sure you save it. 2 is make sure if you have something to drink, make sure you take a sip. And I will do so as soon as I share the teddy bears. Here we go. Okay, sip. Cheers. Three, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure If you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes. Teddy bears in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Excellent. I got another sentence in. Okay. Meh. Also, don't forget to do your self-promo. That was the self-promo sprint. So if you have something to promote that is writing adjacent, let us know. Just remember, if you do not have a blue wrench of power, you will not be able to post direct links. Okay. I'm pretty sure I got over 1,000 that time. So let's do the math. Yes. 1,099. Fantastic. Doing good, getting this first round of words down. Okay, so there was some conversation happening about vampires, trying to figure out how the vampire attack could have happened at the mall. So Monique says Jane was attacked by a vampire at the mall, and where she thought she felt safe, but you weren't sure how that could have happened, given that malls have security cameras and crowds. So I asked, like, in your world building, do vampires even show up on security cameras, or could the security camera be a vampire or working for them? So Monique gives a little bit more detail. It happened in broad daylight, and vampires only usually go out at night. And the crowd was definitely a factor, but Jane hates crowds. Now Jane hates crowds. Is it because of the incident? Rachel suggested if the vampire pre-planned it, attacked it in a place where there would be fewer people, covered the cameras, or moved them into a blind spot. Or if the vampire did it and wanted to be seen, so as to be a public message. I asked if the mall could have UV blocking windows, which would then make it a place the vampires could go even in daylight, with possibility of like underground tunnels or connecting between like supply points or their hidden lair or something. Or if vampires have some sort of like fascination charm, just sort of trying to figure out what the world building was in terms of the vampires and whether or not there would be something that could work. Rachel mentioned underground or out of sun delivery tunnels are actually a thing in some malls. So there you go. Also, the big mall in Alabama, the Galleria, the windows are coated. Yep. So that could be something Jane definitely didn't factor. So Rachel also suggested thinking about the movie Blade. Deacon Frost shows up with 100 SPF concoction all over him and his vampires to deliver a message to Blade. So yeah. Monique mentioned there are vampires that keep themselves hidden even from Jane's radar. There you go then. So there are definitely ways that it could have happened. So and I suggested something, but Monique thought it was a little bit too meta, having the vampires pretend to be like fake vampires going around like fake biting people and then actually bite Jane. But no, too meta apparently. So Monique was thinking about maybe episodes of Buffy or the mall scene from Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So hopefully we got some possible answers, possible ways to have it happen. Funky is stopping by to say hello between all the Zoom meetings. Hello. Cheers to your coffee in a faded pirate mug, because that's usually what you have. So cheers. And also hello. Carla said hates Funky. Rachel says you got into the revisions and forgot about the self-promo. But Rachel is opening the forms back up to offer blurbing and critique reads in May. So here's the author resources page of racheldadams.com. So you can commission Rachel for that. Kara mostly worked on a character deep dive worksheet Also took a minute to put some pork chops and tater tots in the air fryer. Nice. Nice, nice. Ooh, Stacy got 805, which means you are just under your 1.5K that you were thinking would be your stretch goal. You are specifically at 1,476. You have 24 words to go. Amazing. Pork chops, yes. You have no idea what pork chops would be. I figured it out. It's okay. Carrie is going to switch to journaling during the 3rd sprint. Nice. Nice, nice. She says, if this is more modern, malls are definitely not the hangout they used to be. Yeah, this is true. This is true. But hey, you never know. They can come back into fashion anytime because, you know, it used to be that socks that showed above your ankle were like, you just didn't do that and now they're back. And then, you know, if you didn't wear flare jeans, you were nobody. And then all of a sudden it changed over into if you didn't have skinny jeans, you weren't anybody. And now it's back again. It comes and goes. It comes and goes. So they probably did not do it as planned or send a message. Mostly just a skilled hunter. Gotcha, gotcha. You might factor in that he might have a charm or thrall ability. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, Leslie says, I hate computers. Nah, they suck so freaking bad. Your website won't freaking load. Oh no. Is this okay? So your website, have you been trying to update it? And it's not taking. Is there some sort of error? But yeah, anytime I try and work on my website, it's always like many, many hours later, and I look up and it's just like not. Yeah, always takes way too long. So I sympathize. Hopefully, you can figure out what it is that is going wrong. So yeah. Rachel says we just finished 2 more websites for authors and are open to help out with consulting on existing websites and or help creating new ones at wtccreatives.com. That's Rachel and hubby. So Leslie, you may want to knock on Rachel's door and ask for some assistance. Monique says, here's what I got so far. And Rachel says hello to Funky. So Jane and her sister were shopping in a department store, and Vampire tries to charm her sister. Jane interferes but ends up getting taken. She escapes the vampire by booking it towards an exit which has transparent windows. The sunlight forces the vampire to break away from her. Very nice. But where's sister? Is sister somewhere safe? I hope so. Rachel says, I think I'm almost done with revisions for now, and you're going to go back to the event stuff. Your local mall is a total 80s and 90s throwback, but it's also a hangout. Oh, nice, because there's just a charm and fun stuff all around it. It's tiny, but it works. Nice. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and do another sprint. I know we're going to run over just a little bit, but that's what happens sometimes. Most times, if I'm being honest. So we will run about 10 minutes over. All right, so 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I did get another 1,000. But I think I might delete about half that. So I'm kind of running into an issue where there's a character that has night blindness, and I'm like, okay, how am I meant to do this scene? And I'm not sure if I want to do the scene the way that I currently have it drafted. So yeah, so we're gonna figure that kind of stuff out. Also, we need to do the poll, so don't forget to vote in the poll if you have not already done so. I'm just getting that up so that. Okay. Let's see. Kara says, today's Wake Up Kick-Ass repeat card said, trust yourself. And today's Therapet card is a Starry Pegasus who says, you are a fighter ever onward. Nice. Recalling the Eight of Wands card for the first sprint, Monique's believe in yourself and don't push yourself to the point of insanity, which is what you've always done in the past. Yeah. Tendencies to be a workaholic. Yeah. You're a not really recovered workaholic who, prior to becoming disabled, worked 40 to 60-hour weeks at a physically and emotionally demanding job to appease people who didn't know who you were. Yeah. You still drive yourself to the point of burnout, although you no longer punch a time clock to report it to anyone other than yourself. Yeah. Those habits hit hard. Yeah. Stacy got 604 words, which brings you to 2,080. So yes, you hit your extra stretch goal, which is awesome. Now you need to go for your screen-free evening. Congrats on your stretch goal and have fun. Michael has been doing research this stream for ultimately gaining yourself a literary agent. Woohoo! That'll be lovely. Lovely. And cross my fingers, knock on wood, hopefully it goes well. Rachel says, okay, I'm charging my phone. We'll see if I can keep the motivation alive to do this video. Excellent. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. But I think it would be fun to watch you make the grab bags. So Carla says, or swag bags, not grab bags. There we go. Carla says, the characters are skinny dipping and she just put the moves on him. Being part Fae, it's physical, not emotional for her. I think eventually it might be that. Carly says, my card pull today was the Ace of Pentacles. Nice. Rachel says, I love that twist. Yeah. When it's usually the other way. Yeah, it's usually the guy that it's more physical for, at least in most stories. Rachel says to Kara, those are really difficult and toxic habits to break. Yeah, being the workaholic. Yes. Carla says to Rachel, you record your own audiobooks, right? Question mark. No audiobooks yet. You're still not sure how to do it. Becca does audiobooks, and has set up the closet with soundproofing. So Becca C. Smith. I'm trying to think of who else does them. I can't think at the top of my head, but yeah. Rachel says, I come from corporate healthcare, so yeah. Yep. Workaholism. Okay. So we have our poll for the day, which was about what career or job would you choose for a female lead. Yesterday we had the male lead and the Mage scientist researcher won for that. For our female lead, we have a tie, it looks like. If it's going to pop up for me. We have a tie between, I have to go to live chat apparently. We have a tie between the musician, artist, creative at 38%, and business owner, chef, merchant, something to do with business, running your own specifically. 38% for that as well, and then followed by 23% mage, scientist, researcher. And nobody in the chat today has a warrior or military female lead. So there you go. That is how the poll presents itself today. So thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you got something done. Don't forget to save. Make sure you save and stay hydrated. And I will hopefully see y'all soon. All right. Bye.